Baby, what a beautiful day. What a gorgeous day. Nice and loud too. So I noticed this about a month ago, or I should say a week ago. Latouche Barbers, somebody posted the fact that suddenly their rates, they felt, this particular person said they were going to go up by 1,000 a month, that their car park space was going to go from 100 to 500. All sorts of gnashing of teeth. Apparently in Newtown, one business claimed their rates are going to double. It's not quite as clear cut though as that.
Well, so this process is a revaluation process across the whole country. Right. So the revaluation office is doing it in each county, and it's essentially just Wicklow's turn. It's been, I think, 20 or 30 years since this has been done. And so the revaluation office, what they're actually doing is they're putting a value on commercial properties, and then that feeds into the commercial rate valuation of the council.
Right.
So what they did is they started last week by sending out letters to all property owners, and it has caused a lot of concern because in some instances people's rates will go up quite considerably.
Right.
Based on this evaluation. And look, I brought along a copy. This is essentially a copy of the letter. Right. Of what people will receive. It's just a sample copy, and the problem is the first figure that people saw was this proposed valuation. And I think that just frightened an awful lot of people. This isn't actually what your valuation will be.
It's just an example, as it were, or just as some sort of...
No,
right?
This, you have to multiply this by what's called a multiplier that the council determines each year, and the multiplier is 0.228.
Okay, so it's a lot less than that figure.
It's a lot less, yeah. So when multiplied by 0.228, it is a lot less. Now,
I was sick the day we did sums in school. Why that? Well, that just seems like a bizarre... Obviously, it all makes sense ultimately, but the idea of multiplying it by 0.0, it's obviously worked out as a standard.
It's how they've always done it, and what it does is, because each year the council agree to the valuation, it allows a bit of flexibility in how the council deals with valuations as well. You know.
The fact that it hasn't been done for quite a while, is it? I mean, is that a fault? Was it just natural that these things don't get done for a certain length of time, or?
It's a huge job to go through. So it's been running for a few years now, but it hasn't come to us yet, essentially, at Wicklow. But now, saying all that, and I know, when people multiply by the 0.228, it does bring this figure down a lot. There are some properties
still have a rise.
There's still quite a considerable increase, and I know there is a lot of concern about that. So what I'd really say to people is they need to engage with the valuation office. They'll have a date on it by which you have 40 days in which to reply. Okay. And that 40 days is sort of an informal reply period. Once you go beyond that, then you're into an appeals process, which it's more expensive. It's sort of quasi-judicial, and it's a lot more formal. So if you have any issues with the letter you've received, I would just say to people to contact the valuation office now and have those discussions, because they might have made a mistake with the floor areas or some other aspect of it, so it's certainly worthwhile having those chats. They did have a series of walk-in meetings, but they were during the day. It was difficult for people to get to, so they are holding another set over the coming weeks. We just don't have the details for those yet.
I know I posted on the guide, but it was one of those things that I didn't get a notice about it. It was literally just by chance I saw it on social media, and it was the next day. And this idea that Greystones, it's almost a victim of its own success, in that it's obviously a hugely popular town, economy-wise it seems to be booming, and I suppose there's a fear that almost is, you get penalised for the fact that it is valuable and that you are in a prime location, so therefore we're going to hit you hard.
Well, so with this process, it's a county-wide process, and actually there will be no increase on a county-wide basis from this. So while some premises are going up, other ones are coming down. Okay. And I think you're right. I think just because Greystones, the rental valuations and valuations of the properties here, I would imagine that probably the increases will be felt most in this district, which will make it obviously harder for
So I'll put in the link for people to the contact details and all that, but the main thing is to, with that 40 days, just to get in touch and find out, the real figure, as it were, and also to make sure that the information is correct, that you're not sort of been diagnosed or misjudged and all that.
It's really important that people engage with this now, because it'll just get so much more difficult and costly if you don't engage in the next. And actually, we're probably, I think the 23rd of April is the sort of the deadline for the first tranche. There's 2 tranches of letters that have gone out. I think for the first tranche it'll be around the 23rd of April. So it's really important that people engage in this. The website is www.valoff, so VALOFF.ie. It's not a Wicklow County Council.
It's a nationwide.
It's a nationwide thing. So if you're looking for information, call them. There's also a phone number which is 0181.
Yeah, well, I'll embed this above as well. Yeah, I'll put them in the links so people can just hit the link when they need to.
817-1033. So please, if anyone has any concerns, give them a buzz, because you do need to have those discussions.
No, you're very good to come out and talk about this. I don't suppose we can sort out our levy problem as well while I have you there. Just the fact that our levies seem to go to the rest of the county rather than to the town, and I know we have a very, very very sweet town manager, but he seems to love us like a red-haired stepson. Is there? You don't want to talk about the levy, I suppose. It's another day, isn't it? It's a difficult one.
It is a difficult one. I do find it really frustrating, because we are getting, like, there's a lot of houses being built here and we don't have the infrastructure to back it up. And even you know, when the district councillors a couple of months ago met with the NTA to talk to them about the public transport, it's very much like there's no money for it, or there's been such a time lag that it'll be quite a while before any of that's resolved. So it is difficult when you see the houses going in and the rates or the development levies that will be coming from that, and then there is the corresponding
budget for
improvement in the infrastructure. It is difficult to see that, but I suppose we do work on a county basis as well, so there is that spread of costs.
Well, we are the greatest town in the county, so that's a bit of a shame that we get penalised for being so brilliant.
We are fabulous.
Hey, rock and roll, there you go.